For this video, I'm going to take you for a hotel tour of the Days Inn located in Richmond Hill, Georgia. So I recently took a road trip up the eastern seaboard, and one of my stops was here in Georgia. For this particular road trip, I was driving a U-Haul, so I didn't really have a lot of options on where I could actually stop. There are a lot of hotels with small parking lots, especially when you get up into the northeast, and I was driving one of the larger U-Hauls. It was a 26-foot long, so your options become pretty thin when you have a truck that big, and that's exactly how I ended up at this Days Inn. Their primary attraction is the dirt lot next to the parking lot. At night, there were multiple U-Hauls and campers and horse trailers and all kinds of stuff that load up that dirt lot next to the Days Inn, and that's basically how this hotel makes money. When it comes to the condition of the hotel, it was below the standards that I usually expect from a Days Inn. The room was pretty beaten up and just tired, and they really could use a renovation, the bathroom especially. This Days Inn had all the amenities that you would normally expect in a hotel room. They had like the mini fridge, ironing board, flat screen TV, pretty much the typical stuff. There is a Denny's restaurant located directly in front of the hotel. I think I'm going to give this hotel a half a point because the convenience of that restaurant and the food was really good in there. I mean, I went in there for one of those Superbird sandwiches, and it was one of the best I've ever had at a Denny's. Food's good, and it's walking distance. You can basically walk from your hotel room to a Denny's, which is kind of nice. This hotel does have a swimming pool, but it's just an average pool, nothing to call home about. There is a free continental breakfast, and Days Inn does a pretty good job at that. It's one of the better continentals out there. The food is a little more fresh than, I guess, most hotel chains. Richmond Hill is right down the street from Savannah, Georgia, so you can basically access all the attractions like River Street and the Georgia Railroad Museum and those type of things from this particular hotel. There aren't that many things that are really close by, though. I mean, you really only have the Georgia Peach World, and the Coastal Georgia Botanical Gardens is close, but that's not very good attraction either, so I don't know. I mean, you might want to stay in Savannah itself if you're coming here on vacation, because I wouldn't recommend this particular hotel. So what's the bottom line for the Days Inn and Richmond Hill? I'm going to start by giving this hotel a 4 out of 10, with 10 being the best. So it's below average by my standards. It's definitely well below what I would expect from a Days Inn. I am going to give them that extra half point for having the Denny's nearby because the food was pretty good there. So the overall score is still 4.5 out of 10, which would basically make this hotel slightly below average. I'd say this hotel is mostly for people making road trips and travelers on the highway. I would not recommend coming here for a vacation at all. I think they're much nicer hotels than Savannah itself. The room rates are pretty affordable. I mean, you're going to be looking at about $50 a night. There aren't a lot of better options at that price point, but for another $10-15 a night, you could stay in a much nicer hotel, and I definitely would recommend doing that. This particular hotel is located directly next to Interstate 95 and Highway 17, so there are a lot of restaurants nearby. The selection of restaurants is actually better than the hotel itself. So I guess if you're going in knowing that, this would be an acceptable place to stay. But I would imagine most people would prefer staying somewhere else. Thanks for watching this review of the Days Inn at Richmond Hill. If you enjoyed this vlog of the Adventure Schmuck, don't forget to like and subscribe.